Hold on to your sonic screwdrivers, fellow Whovians, because the end of Doctor Who's partnership with Disney Plus isn't a disaster. It's a thrilling reset that could breathe new life into the Time Lord's epic saga. As a lifelong fan, I'm buzzing with excitement, but stick around to uncover why this split might just be the best thing that's happened to the show in ages. And here's where it gets controversial. Not everyone agrees that ditching Disney's glamour is a win. What do you think? Picture this. Doctor Who, the iconic BBC series all about transformation and adventure, has just undergone a massive shakeup. The two-season collaboration between the BBC and Disney Plus has officially wrapped up, sending the Doctor, who recently morphed into a mysterious figure portrayed by the talented Billie Piper in the Season 2 finale, straight back to their roots at the BBC. For those new to the fandom, this regeneration is a core concept where the Doctor changes appearance and personality to keep the story fresh, and Piper's role added a layer of intrigue by tying into classic elements like the companion Rose. The BBC's director of drama, Lindsay Salt, shared this reassuring message. "We'd like to thank Disney Plus for being terrific global partners and collaborators over the past 2 seasons, and for the upcoming The War Between the Land and the Sea. The BBC remains fully committed to Doctor Who, which continues to be one of our most loved dramas, and we are delighted that Russell T. Davies has agreed to write us another spectacular Christmas special for 2026. We can assure fans the Doctor is not going anywhere, and we will be announcing plans for the next series in due course, which will ensure that TARDIS remains at the heart of the BBC." At first glance, this announcement might sound like a heartbreaking cancellation, but it quickly pivots to a promise of even more adventures. Sure, it means we'll be waiting until late 2026 for new Doctor Who episodes, with The War Between the Land and the Sea serving as an exciting spin-off miniseries spotlighting UNIT, a secretive organization fighting extraterrestrial threats, and beloved villains like the Sea Devils. But dedicated fans are no strangers to those gaps. It's all part of the charm for us Whovians, who thrive on the anticipation between those shorter seasons. Speaking as someone who's been hooked on the Doctor since childhood, I'm genuinely optimistic about this change. Many of us felt the Disney Plus chapters were deeply polarizing, and severing ties could be the perfect opportunity for the show to reinvent itself in ways that recapture its original magic. But this is the part most people miss. The real debate isn't about the partnership itself, but how it shifted the show's priorities in ways that some argue diluted its essence. Let's dive into why many fans, myself included, see this as a step forward. The Disney Plus run often prioritized flash over depth, which is a bold claim that might ruffle feathers among those who loved the spectacle. Think about the greatest Doctor Who episodes, the ones that still resonate today despite the show's legendary tight budgets. Take Heaven Sent, where Peter Capaldi's Doctor endures a harrowing, introspective journey in a simple castle with just some skulls and glowing walls for visual flair. Or Midnight, one of the most cost-effective episodes ever made, which builds tension around a small group trapped in a sightseeing shuttle, relying on clever dialogue and atmosphere rather than fancy effects. Even Blink, an episode that barely features the Doctor at all, hooks viewers with a spooky house, a stellar Carey Mulligan performance, and those menacing weeping angels that creep into motion when unobserved. These stories prove that Doctor Who's true power lies in its ability to captivate through imaginative writing, strong performances, and emotional depth, not flashy visuals. Sure, the show throws in stunning moments now and then, but it's designed to encourage viewers to suspend disbelief. That's when you willingly ignore unrealistic elements for the sake of the story. As long as the acting and script shine, a shaky set piece or a less-than-perfect costume creature becomes irrelevant. In my view, this is exactly where the Disney Plus era stumbled, And here's where it gets controversial. I'm not blaming Ncuti Gatwa, who was a fantastic doctor, or the push for more inclusivity, which aligns perfectly with the show's universal appeal and themes of acceptance. No, the issue was that problems got solved with big budgets instead of clever creativity. Out of nowhere, we saw elaborate musical sequences, opulent sets, and high-tech gadgets that enhanced abilities to superhuman levels. Episodes turned into predictable Mystery of the Week formats, with recurring plot threads like the Villengard Corporation feeling underdeveloped and ultimately unresolved. The overarching pantheon of Discord storyline? It often devolved into repetitive, effects-heavy battles against massive foes. Layer on top of that a reliance on nostalgic remixes of Doctor Who's greatest hits. Think cameos from stars like David Tennant, Catherine Tate, and Billie Piper. And it felt like the show was chasing quick thrills and visual wow factor over meaningful substance. Doctor Who has a long history of fresh starts, which makes this pivot feel like destiny. To be clear, I didn't hate the Disney Plus seasons. I watched every episode and appreciated the fun. There were standout moments, like the mind-bending Lux from Season 2, which cleverly broke the fourth wall to pay homage to fandom in a way that delighted longtime fans. And yes, some storytelling pushed boundaries with ambition. Yet overall, I believe Doctor Who shouldn't mimic a Disney blockbuster. It thrives as a quirky, distinctly British gem, a bit eccentric and offbeat, that blends heartfelt inclusivity with inventive, soul-stirring narratives. It should embrace risky storytelling that sometimes flops spectacularly, but when it works, creates pure wonder. It ought to embrace budget constraints as part of its gritty charm, reminding us that great TV doesn't always need millions in effects. Even Peter Capaldi, my absolute favorite doctor and a passionate Whovian, once voiced frustrations about the show's prop quality during his run, pointing out how makeshift elements could undermine immersion. But those duct-taped outfits and wobbly props didn't derail brilliant tales like Listen, a chilling exploration of childhood fears. That said, I do hope the BBC loosens the purse strings more for Doctor Who now that it's back on its own, investing in better resources to support the stories. However, the narrative must always take center stage, no exceptions. And this, I sincerely hope, is the focus for the creators moving forward. With the Disney Plus chapter closed, and hints that showrunner Russell T Davies might step away after the 2026 Christmas special, we're on the cusp of exciting announcements that could redefine the series. Of course, there's also the eagerly awaited The War Between the Land and the Sea to bridge the gap. But let's spark some discussion. Do you agree that style overshadowed substance in the Disney Plus era, or am I missing the mark? Was the partnership a boon for global reach that we shouldn't dismiss? And what controversial twists do you hope to see in future Doctor Who to keep the TARDIS flying high? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear if this split has you cheering or concerned.